Parker Resources, mini clinics. Today, we got a real treat for you. Coach Nick Harduvel, the offensive coordinator at Valdosta High in Georgia, talking about mesh, all about the mesh game, the railroad concept off of mesh. Great job by Coach. You're going to love this one. Please be joined this time by Nick Harduvel at Valdosta, winning this program in the whole country, definitely in the state of Georgia. So Coach is the QB coach at OC at Valdosta. He's going to talk to us about some mesh. So let me turn it over to you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. And being on the show. And, I'm the head offensive coordinator at Valdosta High School. And we're going to talk about a little mesh concept that we call railroad. Just something that we like to do, starting to do this spring. So it's my first year being an OC at Valdosta. So we're putting in this mesh concept in railroad, and it's good. The reason why I like it because it's good versus man, or zone. Anything they throw at us, we have answers for it. It's good for anything. It's open field. It's good. It's great in the red zone. You can call it anytime. Good third down call. Good especially against man, because it's good rub routes. Like I said, it doesn't matter what the coverage is or what the defense is playing. It always has an answer for itself. Creates opportunities for playmakers. The same progression for the QB, no matter what formation or set we get in, whether it's 2x2 or 3x1 set or even empty, gives players the options to stay on the move or sit it down. So it kind of gives them a little freedom, when they're playing. And I feel like they take a lot of ownership in that when you give them a little option or you give them some, choice and be able to read it out. So you just tell them what to do every time. Progression, I teach there's different drops, whatever's for your system, however you teach your quarterback and your drops is yours. In your offense, my offense, I teach them a drop, a punch, shuffle. So they're punching, they're shuffling back, getting ready to throw at any time because we're in a 5-man protection. So if they send 6, we got to be hot on it. Our pre-snap is a bench route. It's an 8. We're going to round it off, speed cut it to 10. Based on the leverage and depth of the cornerback, we're going to take that as a pre-snap read. Besides that, then we're going to go on our read. It's going to be a first on the wheel with a running back. It's going to be the mesh. Mesh is always a second read. Every time we run a mesh, it's going to be the second read, which is coming to the running back. The third is the OTB spot route, which is at 10 yards. And that's usually tagged on the railroad concept. And then the fourth is the mesh going away from the mesh on the backside. So it's a full progression read, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which we'll show coming up. Like I said, it's a full field progression. Talking about the bench route already or pre-snap. I like to keep them on the move. I don't like them cutting it out. I feel like they play faster and their speed cutting out of it. And we're going pre-snap, before the ball snap, we know we're throwing that. So I like it on the speed cut. The running back's on a wheel route. We got him free release. Like I said, it's a 5-man protection. Our aiming point is the numbers, and we're just trying to outrun the linebacker if we get man, and hoping our 2 meshers and our spot route, create trash for him to run through. And also on the spot route, we're going to run that at 10 yards. If we get man, we're going to pivot out, burst away, try to get some separation if we get man. Then all the mesh rules, the mesh, they have to be decisive when they run mesh. They can't be filling it out. They can't be slowing down. It's got to be full speed. If they see grass, they see green, keep it on the move. Let's catch and run. If they see the defender out there, then they got to know they got to settle anywhere outside the tackle and find that green grass, settle in the hole, put it on whether shoulder he needs to drop stuff and get vertical. The right side, we just make a rule. I've had it in the past where, who's on top, who's doing that is the tag side. I just always said the right side's on top. He's at 6 yards. The guy on the left side, whoever's meshing with him, he's underneath it at 5. And we literally want to rub shoulders and slap hands. You'll see on the tape we have, they're slapping hands still. I don't know, it's elementary, but, we got to create that good rub. And if the defense gives us middle pressure, we got to be ready for hot routes on that middle rub. And this isn't something mesh also real quick. Isn't just something you can just throw in, 1 week. Like this is something you got to run every day, every week. You got to really buy into it. I think this is something we're going to do because it doesn't matter who we're playing that week. We're going to have a mesh concept and it's going to be this mesh. And our players are going to know how to run it. And it's going to be something you got to do every day. It's not something you can just sprinkle in. All right. And here's a little diagram I drew up for you all today. Just call it Z Railroad. Z tells us he's the spot guy. Okay. So he's the OTB at 10. So the back's our first read. He's going to get to the wheel route. He's going to go up the sideline. He's going to try to outrun the linebacker if it's, man on. So if they're playing zone and the corner's backing off, it's capped off, he's going to come off the wheel. All right, he's going to come down to the mesh. So the mesh number 2 coming to the H, going from left to right. He's going to look across the field. If it's on the sees grass, he's going to stay on the move. If not, he's going to sit it down in the hole. Same thing, OTB, third route's OTB. He's going to sit down in the zone, try to find the space in between the 2 linebackers in the box. If we get 2, if it's not, if it's 1, he's just got to find the window. If he gets man, we're going to burst it back out. And the 4th is on the backside of the mesh, which comes open a lot, as you'll see coming up. And you can see the X away from the call has the bench route. And that's a pre-snap read based on the leverage and corner. All right, we can do the same thing. Same concept, same read progression, everything with alpha. All right, we're going alpha, which is our 11 personnel set, 2x2. We just tag it Y. You can call it whatever you want to call it. We call it Y railroad. Try to create a rub for the running back if it's man. All right, if it's not, he's going to come off of it, go to the mesh, go into the OTB to the backside mesh. He's got his pre-snap on the bench, which is away from the call. All right, and that's how we call it right there. That's our railroad, trying to create natural rubs against teams that want to play man. It's good against teams like, we ain't got the best receivers, the most athletic. We got a good group, but we're not the most athletic in speed, but we run good routes. And we got to create meshes for each other and rubs. So that's one reason why we're running it this year. And it's good against that. If it's zone, we can zone it up, find spots, find the holes in the zone. It's good at a 3x1 as well. Same concept. We put the back away from the trip side. And he's the first read as well. He's always the first read on railroad. All right, he's got the wheel. We're going to the mesh by the H. If it's Y, he's got the spot. He's number 3 always. The backside mesh from the single. The X coming across is number 4. All right, and we're pre-snapping the Z. He's always away from the call on the railroad. All right, from the wheel route, from the progression. He's always the backside of the progression. All right. If you're saying that's too far of a throw from my quarterback, you can always cheat the split down Z. You can motion him in. You can cut it down to a bunch set that could make the throw a lot shorter. All right. So there's ways to get to that throw. Just because it's an out route doesn't mean you got to throw it from the numbers hash to hash. You can cut it split down, throw that out route because it's a good concept. If you get cover 3, all right, or any kind of single high safety, good man beater as well. All right. Same thing here attached. We're going H railroad. So now H has a spot. It's the same concept. 1 on the wheel, 2 on the mesh, 3 on the spot. He's bursting out if it's man. And then the X on the backside single is running the mesh as well. All right. And that usually comes up on the backside if he goes through his full field. It's a full field progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pre-snap before the ball starts. All right. And this is a little tape. All right. Since I've only been here since, been OC since the spring and summer. So this is what I have going in from spring and summer. Some 7-on-7 clips. This is us in spring practice going Z railroad right here out of our 11 personnel set. So here it is. They're playing man, some sort of man with their backs. We're creating trash for him to run, go through. The linebacker's got the back. We get pressure, but still enough to get the time off to get the ball out. So that's his first read. All right. If he didn't like it, we pick it up. He should be going to that mesh underneath. If he didn't like it, to the spot route by the Z, you can see the tight on the backside coming wide open. So if we do have time and progression in it, it's going through. All right, the pre-snap bench, I don't like it either. It's press man. All right, he's got to run a deeper bench route. He's just running at 5 or 6. But that's just kind of the concept we have here. Here's the same play from the backside on our drone footage, which I love. It's probably the best angle I love watching tape on. We're fortunate to have it. But just getting that back on that run, matched up on that linebacker is very key. That's a mismatch right there. We have good linebackers. He just has to run through that trash. But I'll take my running back on their linebacker going on a wheel route, going through all that trash any day. That's the concept. That's why we like it against teams that we get man against. And if not, if it gets zone, like I said, there's holes in the zone. We can pick them apart on it. All right, here's a little 7-on-7. We're hitting the underneath route. I like to have them be more decisive and get there and settle right now. But that should be a second read coming right down on it. They take the wheel route. He should come off it right now. He doesn't like it. Boom, come down, drop step, get vertical. Go finish and go score. This is during our spring training. All right, same concept. We're going Z railroad. All right, just try to create rubs. This is against the OTA we had early this summer. All right, just throw a little 7-on-7 with Doherty here. Just coming underneath to the mesh, just take what we got. Playing, there we go, big time man team, man in zone. They're passing everything up. Take it all day. We'll take 5 or 6. Just keep running the same thing over and over. All right, the bench route needs to get a lot deeper on the other side. He's just running 5 yards. He needs to get to 10, put some pressure on it. The OTB guy needs to get to 10 as well and settle. He needs to burst back out. It's man, he's getting attached. He needs to burst back out in the OTB. That's a good job getting vertical. You got to get back vertical on these mesh. Show you this one, we drop it, but I'm just showing you the concept. We're hitting everything. Get the running back, we hit the mesh. Now we're hitting the OTB. You just got to catch it. Quarterback's got to put on that left shoulder, which he did. He's got to drop step to the left. He's got to understand that. I like for our mesh to be a lot deeper here too. We're at 5 yards. It needs to be more at 6. Same thing on the bench route. So we got a lot to clean up on this. We got a young group though, but they're having a good summer. Here's another set where, if you're a 12 personnel team, 11 personnel team, like we're a very big, heavy 11, 12 personnel. You can run it the same way. We're doing over here. All we're doing is going H railroad or H backs the tight end on the wing. He's going to spot it. Tight end should be on the mesh. All right. Slot receiver on the mesh. Needs to make his decision a lot quicker. Needs to get the ball up now to the running back. He's late. All right. Also on the rule, the mesh guy, he can't be sitting over the ball. That's where our OTB is. He's got to keep it moving. He can't settle down until he gets past the tackle. But the ball needs to be a lot quicker, but it's creating mismatch with your running back on your linebacker. Usually, if you got a running back, he's a dude. All right. He's a guy that could probably go pretty good. Get him on a linebacker. Create mismatches. It's all about matchups. Put him on somebody you can't run. All right. Same thing, going Z railroad down in the red zone. All right, right here, I'm showing you this one because to show you how the progression works. All the way to the back side, the back not there, the mesh not there. Spotty gets a little pressure, but look at the back side, the mesh come underneath through all the rubs. Now he's got to be thinking hot. Ball needs to be coming out now. He's getting middle pressure. So we talked about getting that mug look. They're sending a mug look, a blitz right at the middle. Okay, get your eyes now. Get your eyes around. Throw the ball out to him. Everything should be off. It should be Mayday alert. You should be lurking down to his hot route, which is the mesh. Back's not there. He needs to come down to the Y, which is a tight end coming underneath. Go with your progressions. The mesh isn't there. The OTB, now take it underneath. He feels the pressure. He's a kickback. Give him a good ball. It should be a touchdown. Great opportunities for your players. All right. Here's another one. Why you got to keep going past the tackle. You can't settle. All right. It should be an easy touchdown. Yeah, he catches on the tip. But this receiver, he can't do it right over the center. You got to sit down and be decisive and sit it down past the tackle to create that triangle. Guy needs to be over here. So we can create that triangle right here, create that separation. You should be wide open. It shouldn't have to be this difficult. It should be clean. That's what work we're going through. All right. And that's part of our progression. Just some of our, video for y'all. If you have any questions on it, you can let me know as well.
Coach, I thought that was great. I had 2 questions. You answered both of them. One was, if you couldn't throw the bench, what would you do? And you talked about motion them in or a bunch, because it's a great concept. I don't think everybody listening will have a guy that can throw it from the hash to the guy on the other hash. So
yeah.
But some people, if you do have one, by all means. But I love the bunch and I love the motion them in. That's a good idea too. And then the hot stuff, because when we run a bunch of empty protection or just 5-man protection. I love 5-man protection. I prefer it. I think the other people just miss blocks anyway. Yeah. But you had to have a pretty extensive hot plan, when you do that. So you mentioned throwing the mesh on the hot. So I guess as a quarterback coach, there has to be a decent amount of throwing kind of on the move or off your back foot or whatever it is, because you are going to catch. Sometimes the timing of the mesh is not going to be as simple as the back swinging out of the backfield like it used to be back in the day. You could throw that hot pretty easy. That was my day when we ran mesh. Now people are wise to that, so you got to be a little more advanced. And is that what you see? Is a lot of like kind of running away from it when you see the hot and making the mesh?
Oh yeah, Those are, we call those off schedule throws, because you're not going to be sitting back there like in 7-on-7. Like I love 7-on-7, but also it creates bad habits because you just sit back there in the pocket. You ain't got dudes coming at you, trying to, rip your head off, or, you got to get off that spot. You got to learn how to, step back, feel the pressure, get out. You got to understand if it's a mayday, whether the pocket's just completely gone, you're running for your life, or, they're just getting some penetration. All you got to do is kick back and move up in the pocket, and make that throw. So, yeah, I mean, definitely we work that every day. It's something you can work, but it's also something, quarterback just got to feel.
I got to get a feel for it.
Have eyes downfield. He can't be looking at the rush. He's got to have his eyes downfield, looking for his reads and his progression, where he thinks, the receiver's going to sit it down. That's him and the receiver being on the same page and working those routes all summer and timing and getting a feel for each other, because it's not something you can just, like I said, sprinkle in. It's something you got to really work and
I really believe that if you can protect it and understand the hots, there's no better play than mesh.
No, it's
I believe it. I'm not just saying.
Yeah, I've been running it, since I was a player, and learned it from everybody I've been under, and it's just a great concept. And I think I want to run it more this year, just in open field, because usually it's a red zone concept. But
right,
I want to run it, all the time, anytime. That's kind of the feel.
It's a great third down play. Medium long yardage. You're going to get somebody open. It's a matter of if you can protect it and you can find that open person, but you're going to get somebody open. Coach, I appreciate it, man. I'd talk to you all day, but I try to keep these short so people lose their attention when they hear me talking that long. But I really, man, I wish you the best. You're at a great place, no doubt. And you've been there a couple of years, but now there is the offense coordinator. So wish you the best of luck and look forward to following you guys this year.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity.
Take care, Coach.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
See you.
Bye.